Hello and welcome to the Metapod Podcast, Pokemon TCG podcast that revolves around the evolving meta. I'm Jake, that's Sean. I recently got my fill of non-Pokemon games the other day. I played in a Gundam event. Sean, you know nothing about Gundam.
No, I mean, I know that they're big robots that fly, but
That's about
these
all I
aren't the
know.
ones that turn into cars, right? That's Transformers. Those are
No,
different.
yes, that's Transformers. Gundam is about war and politics.
Right.
Not cars.
Attack
No.
on Titan in space. Yes.
Um,
Kind of.
no, I don't. No.
Attack on Titan isn't
But
about war and politics in many ways.
uh, have you seen Attack on Titan?
Yeah, I just finished it. It's also about
It's
freedom, but
it's a little bit more than just
it's
war
more. It's
and
more,
there's
but it is also war and politics.
it definitely politics.
Definitely.
War is a weird way to put it. Maybe like the later seasons it's about
Yeah,
war.
that's
But
true.
anyways, I had fun at Gundam. Played in the starter decks released for the Gundam trading card game this past weekend for anyone who does not know, and I played in a starter deck event. Just put together the only Gundam that I know, Witch from Mercury for anyone who follows Gundam. That's the only one that I know, and I adore it. Kind of got me into the idea of playing the card game because I saw Witch from Mercury cards. We played a 6-round starter deck tournament.
That's,
6 rounds because there was almost 40 people.
I mean,
And in Bandai, you just play until there's one undefeated.
as long as it didn't get boring, I'm thinking about like a 6-round pre-release, and I would
No,
not.
like I mean, it was fun because I'm sure part of it helped that I started out 5-0 and then lost in the final round. So I'm sure that is one of the reasons that it was fun.
Well,
But
you got
I think
early
the game.
practice, right?
Well, here's the thing. So like, for anyone who doesn't know, I was invited by the company that makes the Gundam trading card game, Bandai. I was invited by them to the world premiere for the Gundam trading card game. It was the first time that anything Gundam was released. And so yes, I did get some of the cards early, a month earlier than everybody else with the beta kits is what they called them. But in terms of from then until this past weekend, I haven't really done anything because I'm just waiting for the whole game to release. Playing Pokemon, playing One Piece, just trying to balance time. And so now that it's officially out, I'm like, ooh, Monday nights here over at the store. Gonna be playing.
Shiny new toys.
It's really fun, but I don't know if it's like new game syndrome. Where you're just like it's vastly different than Pokemon. If anybody's looking to get into it, if you played like Hearthstone, I think it's very similar in some aspects, especially the combat as like Hearthstone. And then there's a little bit from Digimon, there's a little bit from One Piece, there's a little bit from Dragon Ball. Like it's very interesting how the game has been put together. It like takes a lot of good things from all the other Bandai card games because Bandai, for anyone who does not know, makes like 7-8 card games or whatever.
Yep.
It's not like Pokemon that just makes the one. But yeah, it's really fun. I also played some Pokemon over the weekend too, just playing some Gardevoir, trying to get reps. Have no idea what I'd play in Las Vegas, but it might be Gardevoir. I don't know.
Yeah, I went to my league challenge this morning and I played Gardevoir.
Oh.
And I will say, first round I got a little unlucky. Didn't see a Gardevoir until like turn 10. So
turn 10.
Yeah, it's
Your game still went on 10 turns.
Well, because I had them in an item lock. It was a Marnie's Grimmsnarl, and I had him in an item lock.
Oh, you were just like
Badoo.
You're just like Badoo.
And then I got to the last like 10 cards in my deck, and I finally found Gardevoir.
Are you playing Ultra Ball?
Yeah, 4 of them. They were all in the bottom 10, Jake. I was in hell.
That's crazy.
So
you should have recorded the game.
I barely lost that one, but then the other 2.
You barely lost?
Yeah.
You didn't get demolished?
No, I think if I had.
That's crazy.
If I found it a turn earlier, I would have won. But yeah, it is.
That's
what it is.
insane. Anyways, go on.
Gardevoir's crazy. But I won the next 2. And then the last round, Jake, I actually played against a deck I hadn't seen in forever, which I got kind of bodied by, which was
ADP.
Iron Thorns.
Oh, that works. Yeah.
Yeah. Just player. He's playing Iron Thorn's Crustle. So
Oh yeah, that's a deck that's like come up now
yeah.
as of late. I've seen people talk about this deck.
So the Crustle's useless against Gardevoir, but the Iron Thorns, if you just put down 2 or 3 Iron Thorns and then just go, I'm like, well, I'm never using Gardevoir's ability.
Yeah,
Cool.
you should have put in a Flutter Mane.
Yeah, I
Where's your
mean,
Flutter Mane?
that's the thing, right? Is like people really aren't right now playing Fluttermane, so that might be, a little preview for Worlds. Iron Thorns won last year. Maybe Iron Thorns will win this year too.
And I think Flutter Mane's like honestly, if we're gonna do real talk right now, I think Flutter Mane's actually like a decent option, right?
Mm,
Because you stop a lot of things potentially, but also you get to hit 90, which is a good number,
mhm.
especially in the early game when you have these like stage 2 decks like Dragapult. You have Grimmsnarl, even Mirrors, right? And Gardevoir. And so that can do that and also get you like some damage counters somewhere to like set up Monkey Dory plays or like things of that nature. So I don't think Fluttermane is like a bad option overall. If people are looking for different techs for Gardevoir and stuff like that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think, I don't know how many Iron Thorns you're going to see, but if you don't have
Yeah.
Fluttermane, I will tell you the strategy right now is A, don't absolutely dead draw for 5 turns, but B, focus on one Pokemon, probably Lily's Clefairy EX, because it only takes 2 energy to attack. Focus on that and focus on setting up 2 to 3 Monkey Dories, because the Iron Thorns is only going to be able to do like max 160. And if you can
Yeah.
put 6 or even 9 of that back on them every turn, yeah, they're never getting through. So
Yeah, Monkey Dory is going to be your best friend in most all matchups, but specifically that one.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're especially with the Clefairy, for example, you either like attack with Clefairy or you attack with Gardevoir.
yeah,
Because Clefairy, they're never gonna fill their bench. So it's really they have one Pokemon on the bench, maybe two.
yeah. So
So
the thought process with that though is it's just 2 energy instead of 3. So like,
yeah.
it
You do
ain't.
get to attack earlier,
It
put
depends.
pressure on a turn earlier.
But yeah, with that, I would just say be patient. Throw some random bodies out there to get eaten by, your
You are
opponent.
technically a one prize deck.
Yeah, you could just throw a bunch of random Ralts or Drifloons and Screamtails out there, and then when the time is right, that's when you bring in your big guns. But anyways, I just
Mhm.
wanted to mention that because I got paired against that in the final round, and I was like, what do I do here? This is a problem.
You're the Simpsons meme where he chuckles, "I'm in danger."
Yeah, literally. So, but yeah, that was my Pokemon for the week.
There was some news that came out these last couple weeks, and as well, just like as we talked about last week, we're going to be talking about Black and White, Black Bolt, White Flare kinds of decks, right? Especially from the Japan Championships that happened a couple weeks ago. But first, we want to talk about Prize Pack Series 7. It's going to be coming to leagues starting on August 14th. There's been some leaks online of what some of the cards are from there because I think they've started popping up on eBay. At this point, I think that's where a majority of the leaks came from. We know that Pikachu EX, right, is going to be in there, and we've seen a couple evolutions from Prismatic Evolutions be revealed or leaked, I guess is what I should say. They haven't been revealed yet from these prize packs. So if you had to take a guess, right? Surging Sparks, Prismatic Evolutions, I bet every single evolution is probably going to get a stamp in there. So probably around that timeline is a good starting point. And we'll talk about the official like list and stuff like that when that gets there. But yeah, those will start coming out on August 14th. We did get that confirmation. Oh, Journey Together is also going to be a part of it.
Mm.
Set's going to cover Surging Sparks, Prismatic, and Journey Together.
Ooh, Lily's Clefairy stamp. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So, but yeah, expect if you're getting those Series 7 packs, just pray you hit the Umbreons or whatever, because that's probably the money cards.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be worth so much money. It's going to be like getting Prime Catcher, right? When Prime
Yeah.
Catcher was first in the prize packs.
Or Charizard. You remember that? The
Yeah, or
Charizards? Yeah.
well, Charizard, I feel like Charizard was never like overly high. I
Was
feel
the
like it was
Radiant
like,
Charizard not like a
oh,
$150
the
card?
Radiant Charizard. I don't know, because I pulled a Charizard EX and I'm pretty sure I looked it up and it was like
Mm.
25 bucks.
I know some of the older prize pack ones, like Radiant Charizard, I think had a pretty
I
decent
forgot about the
tab.
Radiance. Yeah, I'm sure the Radiance had a good mark on it.
I think Gengar VMAX. My friend of mine pulled that, and that's a $500 one.
My gosh.
Yep. So you never know.
Speaking of Gengar VMAX, if anybody has a damaged alternate Gengar VMAX that they don't want anymore, I will gladly take it off your hands for $100. So
Yo, Jake out here
it's the
making
only card.
offers.
It's like the only card that I'm missing illustrated by Sao Sao.
Yep, that's the
It's a
official
shame.
Metapod buy list. Is
Yeah, the official
damaged
buy list
Gengar
is a Gengar
VMAX.
card. Yeah,
Yep.
because I'm not gonna afford near mint, so it has to be damaged. Has to be like destroyed.
Jake, we also got some news on some future mega Pokemon, probably from that set that we were speculating on, that everyone in the comments was quick to point out we were in the wrong region for Gen
Oh
5,
yeah,
Gen
that's right.
6. Yeah. So net, all of our predictions on that and the regions were nonsense. But we did get some concrete information here. And we were nowhere near the mark on what probably was gonna happen. But we did get a couple of them. We got
I feel like
Mega.
we I feel like we said Absol.
We might have said Absol, yeah.
Spoiler
So,
alert, the first card for the audio listeners, the first card we're talking about is Mega Absol EX.
yep,
I feel like I said Absol at
we
one
probably
point
did.
last week. Yeah.
So we got Mega Absol EX. It's a basic Pokemon, 280 HP. It does have two attacks. It's a dark type as well. First attack, for a dark and colorless, if your opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 6 damage counters, that Pokemon is knocked out. And then for dark colorless, you do 200 damage and your opponent reveals their hand and you discard a card. Thoughts?
You know what would work great in this deck, Sean?
What?
Monkey Dory.
Yeah,
Like,
it would.
because you just like every other deck, Monkey Dory is probably really good in here because it's already a good card. You're already running dark energies, right? So you don't have to jam in luminous or random dark energies in your deck. And also on top of that, that's a really easy way to manipulate six, right?
Yeah.
Seems good.
It's yeah, exactly 6 can sometimes be funky. Because especially in a dark deck like this, like how are you what are you doing to put the dark on yourself, the damage on yourself? It's like maybe you have to play this with Frostlass, similar to Marnie's
Yeah,
Grimmsnarl.
you could either like play it with Frostlass or you could just tank a hit and like
I
move
suppose.
6 damage counters over. You could have like some, I don't know what kind of big bulky dark Pokemon you could use. But honestly, like you could use Resolute Heart Pikachu. Pikachu EX. Sean has, for all the audio listeners, Sean has rolled his eyes because 10 minutes before we started recording, we had an argument about Pikachu, Mega Pikachu, or not Mega Pikachu,
Yo,
uh,
leaks. Mega Pikachu.
Pikachu EX on if Resolute Heart was good or not. I was on one side, Sean was on the other. You decide. But that could tank a hit, and then you just move 6 damage counters off it. There, that's
Yeah.
free information for you, Sean.
That's your damage counter piggy bank. Is just, hey,
Yeah,
let me just take
exactly.
180 and then save that for later. I
Yeah.
will say that the second attack does pair really well with Ace Rolla's Mischief.
Mm.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry. I was thinking of, there was another card that they announced recently that I think it's maybe an ability of a Pokemon actually that forces your opponent to shuffle their hand and draw 3.
Oh yeah, it's the Ace Trainer reprint. That's the
Right.
Rocket, the
Yeah.
Rockets one.
But like, so that Cruel Claw of your opponent reveals their hand and you discard a card. You get to choose. So putting your opponent down to 2 is also, I wouldn't write that off as a valid option.
I think the biggest thing about that is that you get to choose the card,
Yes.
right? It is not a random card. It is not your opponent choosing a card. It is you choosing the card. So you get them to that low hand size, and then you peek at the hand, right? You get the information of what's in the hand, and you can just get rid of whatever, because Iono's a lie, right? Everybody says it all the time. Unfair stamp is a lie. You could unfair stamp them to 2, and then you can use the effect to take out one of the 2 cards that is really good because unfair stamp is a lie. Easy.
Yeah.
Broken deck.
I mean, I look forward to being unfair stamped Cruel Clawed into oblivion, Jake.
Yeah, there you go. Buy my master class. Buy my Metafy master class.
This second one, though, is Mega Mawile EX, 270 HP metal type basic. Once again, another basic mega. First attack for 2 metal, greedily devour, does 80 damage for each prize card you have taken, which I think is interesting. Like, usually we see this type of effect as being like a comeback mechanic. It's each prize card your opponent has taken. So each prize card you have taken is like, okay, well, if you've taken 4 prizes, this does 320 damage, which basically, if, it's not technically true, but I kind of think of this card like, oh, it basically says if you have 2 prize cards remaining, you win the game. Because if you're hitting a 2 prizer with 320 damage, maybe more with other modifiers, you basically just win the game for 2 energy. Mm-hmm. So the only way that it doesn't is if it's just a single prizer you're attacking. But
I think this is officially the lowest HP EX.
Mega EX?
Mega EX. Yeah, Mega EX. Right. Because I just looked it up. Mega Latios EX is 280.
Yeah. What was Mega Diancie? Was that 280 as well?
Oh, I forgot about Mega Diancie. Dang it. Mega Diancie EX 2025. Product lineup. Is the Diancie in there? Where is it?
While you're looking for that,
starter deck. Yeah.
I'll read the second attack.
We don't know what the Diancie looks like, I think. We just know that a Mega Diancie is coming in the starter deck.
Well, the second attack on this is 260 for metal colorless. If your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters, this attack does 30 damage instead. So basically, this is an anti-Monkey Dory play, which is you want to hit something that's absolutely clean, which I'm like, I don't know. The second attack, I think the first attack is the good one, and I think this actually goes really well in things like maybe the Archaludon decks that want a really good finisher, because Archaludon is a heavy hitter. You can tank hits, stall out the game, but I think for 2 energy, which is really easy to get with Archaludon, this is a really good, I think, closer card that the deck probably needed.
Yeah, I see this as, like you're saying, like a closer kind of card. Because the first attack or the second attack is no good. Especially in a Monkey Dory meta. Like you just or even in a well,
you just don't put the damage, but 260 with no damage on it. I'm just kind of like, okay.
I feel like you're a bad deck. I feel like all the decks right now are setting up knockouts with like damage counters. Like all the great decks. I mean, the only one that's not is like Raging Bolt, which is a fine deck. It's fine. It's a good deck.
I mean, look, 260 is not awful. Like, to your point, theoretically,
but you need 3 energies.
It is, yeah. So if you're playing Archaludon, though, and you're up against a Raging Bolt at 240 HP, in theory, you put all 3 energy onto this guy from the Archaludon Evolution +1, you could just knock out that Raging Bolt, but then your opponent's going to crack back for 3 prizes, and that feels bad.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But Jake, what's this last trainer, the one that I mistakenly started to talk about?
Acerola's Mischief is a supporter card that says you can only use it if your opponent has 2 or fewer prizes remaining. So kind of the opposite of Briar, or similar to Briar in a sense. But anyways, choose one of your Pokemon in play during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon by attacks from your Pokemon or your opponent's Pokemon EX.
This card is a problem.
I think it's not a problem, but I think it's pretty good. The only reason why I'll say is I don't think it's a problem is because Tapu Lele doesn't exist or Versus Seeker doesn't exist.
That's True. Well, no, there is a Versus Seeker, isn't there? It's an A spec. It's not good, but
Yeah, it's an A spec, but then that means you can't play Seeker Box or Prime Catcher, which I think is incredibly worse.
I'm thinking, Jake, of if I'm a control player, right? If I'm Sander,
Okay.
I find me a big old boy to end the game with. I give up all these prizes. I let my opponent go down to 2 or 1 prize, and then I slap myself down some big old body. Like, I don't know, something I can heal every turn in some other fashion. Or I don't even need to heal. It won't take any damage. But I slap some big old body down, and I use this, and I play Pal Pad, and I just loop into oblivion, or figure something out. I just feel like this theoretically gets you. I don't know. I just worry about this card and somebody breaking it, I guess. Because if it's
Well,
your only
the
Pokemon in
thing
play, what
is,
do they do?
I would agree if we had something like Lieutenant Surgeon format, but you've become like using this every single turn, and so you only have so many you only have so many ways to get back your supporters,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because eventually you run out of Pal Pads. Eventually you need to use Silene or something, right? And if
Which is
you
not
have
in
to use
format right now.
Silene, you can't use. Or yeah. So that would be illegal.
Fair.
Um,
So you can't do it
but
infinitely.
no, and so like, and the other thing is we don't have like item cards that really mill that well, right?
Self mill. I mean, we have research. Like you could research yourself through
No,
your
no, no.
deck.
I'm talking about your opponent.
Oh, no, yeah, you can't really mill. It would be more like a late game control, and then maybe you have to attack, because to your point, you can't infinitely do this.
Yeah,
So you
you
have to
have to
attack.
it's the way that I see this card is just like a buy a turn card.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I see this as.
I'm not gonna lie. For me, I pair this with Mega Mawile, and then I just make a whole deck designed for Mega Mawile to be my only Pokemon on the field. And then I play this, I pal pad it, I play Pokegears. I just do that every turn. And then I basically tell them, like, hey, are you able to knock this out with a single prize, with a non EX Pokemon? If not, I'm going to take all of my prizes before you ever have a chance to do anything.
Where is all the other list of EXs that we've gotten? Because wasn't there an EX that like hit for 300? Is Mega
Well,
Latios, isn't it?
yeah, maybe you could pair it with that if you want. But I mean, Mega Mawile, once your opponent is at 2 or fewer, assuming you've taken prizes, maybe you haven't, but yeah, you find a big Pokemon that does a bunch of damage for a little energy. Hopefully, I don't know. That's my thought process. Is like, man.
Dragapult.
I mean, maybe,
That's the only thing I like really think of.
because the thing is, if you have to pick a big Pokemon, because they are reprinting. Is it Keldeo EX basically?
It's much different, but in spirit, it is.
Like, there's not that many shred attacks. Is my point. Because shred would be the only kind of attack from an EX that would get through this effect.
Yes,
Or damage
correct.
counter placement, technically.
Yeah,
But it would have to be damage counter placement from abilities, not from attacks. So it's like,
Monkey Dory.
yeah, if you can monkey dory your way to killing a Dragapult EX, be my guest. That's
Hey,
crazy.
all you need is like 7 turns.
Yeah, that's it.
You got it.
But anyways, it's probably not as broken as I'm thinking of it, but like I do think it's kind of crazy that like they're giving us a card like this, but they're not giving us, and maybe they will in the future, like a canceling cologne effect.
I think it's basically like a Briar level card
Yeah, that's fair.
where it's just like you have to have it,
Yeah,
and it's a one of in your deck and only very specific decks play it. But I think it's a pretty good one of, because it's like it's any it's any supporter that can just buy you time, right? It's a comeback mechanic card. So
mhm,
like counter catcher is more than likely active at that point. Um
true.
so that's what I see it as. But all it takes is your opponent to have like boss or counter catcher a lot of times
Yeah,
to
it's
just like
interesting.
win. Because
It
everybody plays Pheasantipity.
Yeah. It is interesting though. I like the way you're framing it though, of like maybe it's a card where if you have one two prizer on the field, like say you're playing Gardevoir, you have one two prizer on the field, and instead of Professor's Turoing it, you just play this and pick it as the target, and you're basically telling your opponent, hey, if you need two prizes, you're not going to get it from this guy. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good, pretty good.
It can be very impactful, but I don't think it'll be. I think it'll just be like Briar. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
because
fair.
Briar, nobody's thought about Briar for like 6 months, right?
Yeah, it's
Like,
true.
I think it'll be like that.
We did get a couple of other card reveals that we can talk about very, very briefly. We got a set of Abracadabra and Alakazam. The important point here is that the Kadabra and the Alakazam both have abilities that say when you evolve this Pokemon, on Kadabra, when you evolve this Pokemon from your hand, you get to draw 2 cards, and Alakazam says you draw 3. It's a straight draw. Um, and the whole
You
point
know
of
what I
that,
love? You know
yeah.
what I love about Alakazam though, which is I think is what you're going to.
What is it? Please.
Alakazam has a 1 energy attack that says put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon for each card in your hand.
That's fun.
I'm so into this deck. I'm so into this deck.
I
Give me
vibe.
trade. I'm gonna pair this with Enzorark. I'm gonna go Enzorark, Alakazam, and I'm gonna play like Hyper Aroma.
Superior energy retrieval?
Oh my gosh. Is
Yeah.
maybe not superior energy retrieval. Yeah, no, I would play energy retrieval, not
Oh, yeah,
superior
yeah.
energy
Yeah, because it's
retrieval.
superior is 3 cards down for 4 in hand, so it's only a +1. I guess energy
Yeah.
retrieval is a +1 as well, but it's easier. It's less
Yeah, but
complicated.
I don't have to discard cards, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, it's true.
I only have to get rid of the 1 energy retrieval because it's only a 1 energy attack. If it was like I needed a couple and I had like what's that guy called? The water dragon
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that was in Shin Pao. I'm or to
Baxcalibur?
Baxcalibur. If I had a
Yeah.
Baxcalibur Pokemon, sure. You know, superior energy retrieval like in Chin Pao. But I would play energy retrieval. But I'm gonna put Enzorark and this card together, and I'm just gonna draw cards like crazy.
You
Like
know,
crazy. It's gonna feel like the Unbroken Bonds Salandit. So
Jake,
like unknown hand.
do you pair this with the Dunsparce?
You could also pair this with the Dunsparce. Yeah, if you wanted a pure one prize deck,
That's
you could
kind
do
of
that.
dope.
Oh, that's fun.
I can't wait till
That's
somebody has
fun.
20 cards in their hand and is like, I will place 400 damage counters
Yeah.
on.
The upside is you can draw a lot potentially with this deck. The downside is that Judge and Iono exist.
Oh
And
no.
you know, Iono's pretty popular, and I think Judge is kind of getting more popular as of late. So like, I don't know, if you face a deck that plays Judge Iono, you're toast. And also the downside is you need like 20 cards in hand to be able to knock out like a mega Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of cards in hand, but
But the idea is there,
yeah,
and that's what matters.
I do like it. There's also the what's the supporter, the psychic one that lets you put, is it Tulip?
Morty's Conviction.
Oh no,
Or Tulip
Tulip.
allows you to
Up to
put a
4.
combination of like psychic energies and Pokemon. So yeah, Tulip's probably pretty good.
Cuz like I bet that's Tulip's actually great in this deck cuz you attack with the Alakazam, you assume it gets knocked out. That's 4 cards going to the discard. Play a Tulip, put all 4 back in your hand. Oh,
Yeah, you can chain them.
yo, Tulip to Dunsparce. Okay, we just built the deck. I'm
Good
down.
thing I already own my Akiragawa Tulip special illustration rare because I'm gonna pump the heck out of this deck.
Jake, let's talk now about some more like closer to the future deck list. We were looking at Japan
Mhm.
Championships from about 3 weeks ago now, but this theoretically featured cards from Black Bolt White Flare. But as some of you might see, there's not a lot of those cards featured in some of those top decks. But
The
anyways,
thing is, Black Bolt White Flare is a holiday special expansion, right? Historically, special expansions never feature like really big archetypes, big meta shifts, anything like that. The main, if you heard us talk about the set list, the main point is Jellicent EX, which is very present in Gardevoir, which I think just has more popularity than it does in Japan, usually because of time rules and best
Yeah.
of one stuff like that. But anyways, I guess we could just talk about Jellicent first, not
Yeah.
since we're already talking about it. The Gardevoir list, right? If you do not know what Jellicent is, it is a stage one Pokemon, 270 HP psychic stage one Pokemon. So you do have to evolve into it. Has the ability Curse of the Sea. As long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, you can't play any item cards from their hand or attach any tool cards. And then with the Psychic Colorless 80 plus attack, if this Pokemon has at least 2 more energy attached to it, required for this attack, does 80 more damage, which Gardevoir incredibly easy to get 4 energy on this thing.
Yep.
So it can do 160 damage, and item lock and tool lock your opponent, which can have which is a pretty big deal. Every single Gardevoir plays this card.
And what's interesting too is that you're seeing this played, but I'm also seeing Klefki being
Mm-hmm.
played, which maybe people are worried about Iron Thorns. I'm not really sure. Maybe you're shutting down Pheasantipity.
Ogerpon,
Yeah, Ogrepon. That's a good
Pheasantipity,
point. Yeah,
right? Because Raging Bolt is still a good and pretty popular deck,
yeah,
right?
especially in Japan.
Yeah, in the format, the electric box, right? You can shut down like Miraidons and Pikachu's your favorite.
Hmm.
Pikachu EX, you can shut down that Resolute Heart ability. Um, and yeah, there's a good amount of the abilities that people play turn one. Squawkabilly, right? For
Yeah.
aggression. So you can just shut all those down.
What I will say, it's a little surprising. Um, there's a couple things actually. Like Jellicent is clearly a very strong card. If you can item lock your opponent, keep it in the active. Right now in Japan, none of the lists I have looked at are playing any iron bundles. So
Hmm.
the only way to get this out of the active is using boss, which some decks play, but it's your supporter for turn, right? So especially early game, you're not really going to be set up if you can't play item cards. So it's kind of hard to be like, let me boss so that I can play my item so that maybe next turn I can do something.
Hmm.
Um, and I think in a Gardevoir list, I'm a little surprised that we don't see any Meloettas, because that's a card that we talked about during the set review that lets you attack on the first turn going first.
That's right.
So you can Meloetta with TM Evo specifically, and start evolving your Pokemon. So not seeing that in this list is interesting. Also, interesting that they're not teching against themselves. So Klefki is great and all, but I almost think that in some scenarios, maybe Fluttermane, to our point earlier, might be better. Because if you're the Gardevoir player, and you're playing a mirror and somebody has their Jellicent out, you can put your Fluttermane in the active, and then you can use all the items that you need.
Hmm.
So it's just a couple of random thoughts from me here.
I think from the Meloetta's perspective is like Raging Bolt's very popular in Japan, and it's
Yeah.
also popular out in the West as well. But I think that's kind of one of the big reasons. Because sure, you can attack first and you can evolve, into Curlia or even Jellicent, but then that Raging Bolt just bellows in and just takes 2 prizes, right? Because they often
Mm-hmm.
take 2 prizes going second on their first turn, or
Mm-hmm.
they get to attack, right,
Yeah.
and take knockouts. And so you kind of like give them that opportunity. So I
True.
think just because like TM Evo and Arvin is a combination that exists in the format, and plus you're playing like rare candy deck now, it's not like you have to go into Curlia, in your second turn. I think it's just like for those couple reasons, like you're either doing like TM Evo for your attack, and you might as well just use it on a baby Pokemon or something like Cleffa,
Mm-hmm.
or like a Ralts or Monkey Dory or something. Any one of those Pokemon, Klefki. Uh, but yeah, I just think the
Interesting.
knockouts happen too fast
No, that's a
for
that's a
Meloetta.
that's a good call, because yeah, the Meloetta is going to give up 2 prizes, and that definitely would feel really bad against specifically Raging Bolt. Um,
I would say that in the West, the rest of the world, Meloetta, or I'm sorry, not Meloetta, Fluttermane is probably going to be more popular because Gardevoir is just more popular
mhm.
in the West because of best of three and time rules, things like that.
Yep. Outside of that, though, like looking past this Gardevoir deck, just looking at the top tables, like, yeah, Raging Bolt won the tournament. It was also fourth place, and it's kind of just scattered all over the place. So clearly, in a best of one format, Japanese players are leaning into the pace and the aggression that is Raging Bolt. But
Hmm.
in second, I will say, like, I know a lot of people, at least around me, like they like Marnie's Grimmsnarl, but it's kind of a hit or miss deck, I think, with people. So interesting seeing Marnie's Grimmsnarl getting second at this tournament. And this one is playing Iron Bundle. So, you know,
Hmm.
that's
It's not
pretty
only
cool.
playing Iron Bundle, it's also playing Air Balloon,
Yeah.
right? One of the reprints in black and white. And I think Air Balloon is just a good card. Like if you have a majority of Pokemon that are, or you have some Pokemon that are 2 retreat costs, right? Like Grimmsnarl EX is that way. Maractus is that way if you tech
Yeah.
in your Maractus. And you have a bunch. It also works for 1 retreat cost Pokemon. So just anything in there, right? That is 1 retreat cost can retreat. So Air Balloon, I think, is really good.
Yeah. I think the Maractus shout is also just, it's really strong because, yeah, that Maractus is when you're like, yeah, I can corner you. And then you're like, wait, this thing's 2 retreat cost? Oh, God, this is
Hmm.
awful now. So is there any other decks on this list that you wanted to talk about?
I have to head back real quick. But I think, like, honestly, I mean, even if you pull up Raging Bolt, right, like the first place list, there are some like changes that people have moved around into, right? Like, especially since Surging Sparks, you could see, or we saw like more people playing in the Chin Pao that has Snow Sink, right?
Hmm.
Being able to get rid of a stadium. Still happening right here, I think is a good kind of call. The one of Judge, also really, really nice. I think Iron Leaves is kind of the most exciting, I will say, right? Iron Leaves just being able to be like that one-hit knockout in the Grimmsnarl format, right? Since Grimmsnarl is still going to be pretty good, I think it's still like a very viable attacker in there. And at 180 as well, like on that attack, it's pretty respectable, right? Even if it's just only for that specific matchup in general, because they can't one-shot you back, right? Because they only do 200.
Grimmsnarl, yeah, they only do
Yeah, they
200
only
and they
do
put 30.
200.
Now, granted, if they have Frostlass and Monkey Dory, then like, but
That changes, yeah. But
um,
Uh, point being, you can go one hit KO right there and close out a game that way
I will say
because
I
all you need is
really,
3 energies.
I really do love the Chen Pao in this list. The more I think about it,
Mhm.
because like you have the area 0, you're playing the teal mask, so yeah, you can fill up your bench, especially early game, play a Squawk, play a Mew, draw a bunch of cards, whatever, and then you can Chen Pao later in the game to get rid of the stadium and force all of those 2 prizers that you don't really want on the board anymore, or maybe something that has damage counters that's been placed on it.
Mhm.
I've never really thought about that because I don't play Raging Bolt, but like that's a really good little package there to like. It reminds me of how do I not remember the stadium? The stadium that put your Pokemon down to 4.
Collapse Stadium?
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
a more convoluted collapse stadium play.
Yeah, I mean it's like Pumpkaboo,
Yeah.
like when Mew EX was playing Judge Path,
Hmm.
right? Path to the Peak kind of went against Mew VMAX in a sense because that meant that you couldn't use your Genesect, but you could Pumpkaboo yourself, right, to be able to get rid of that stadium. Or, just like any other it was Pumpkaboo actually earlier than Mew VMAX.
It might have been, but like they did play other things. They might have played Lost Vacuums instead.
Yeah, like there's different reasons of why, like the flexibility of being able to use it to bump your stadium or like an
Yeah.
opponent's stadium if you do not have a stadium response is the main takeaway from that Chin Pao. It just gives you a lot of flexibility in that.
Outside of Raging Bolt, third place was a Joltik box list. So just looking at this, the only new card in the list is Brave Bangle. So it says if this
And Air
Pokemon
Balloon.
and Air Balloon, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's the reprint. But it says that the Pokemon this card is attached to doesn't have a rule box. Its attacks do 30 more damage. Well, what's interesting about this list is like in terms of things that don't have a rule box, there's not much, but for Galvantula specifically, it has an attack Shocking Web. It says attacks used by this Pokemon do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon that has an ability. Then its attack does 50 plus 80 more if it has any electric energy attached. So that's 130 plus 50, that's 180. You add a Brave Bangle, and all of a sudden you're hitting 230 with this little Galvantula. So yes, you could have already KO'd Marnie's Grimmsnarl, but 210, not 230, 210. 210 puts you at Pheasantipity range.
Wait, hold on. It's 130, which is 260, right? Just for the base attack, but it does 50 more damage before applying weakness and resistance. So it's really 100 damage to Grimmsnarl.
Well, so
So that's
yeah, it
isn't it?
does. Well, so it does 50 base, right? And then it does 80 more if it has a lightning energy attached, which likely it does. So that's 130. And if the opponent's Pokemon has an ability, it does 50 more. So that's
Which Grimmsnarl
180.
does.
So that's 180. So it's
Mhm.
360. Grimmsnarl had already knocked out. The question is, can you do 210 to something that matters? And the answer is Pheasantipity has 210.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and there might be other Pokemon that, I mean, Pheasantipity might also be weak to grass, so it may not matter. I don't know. I guess
It's
I'm
weak to
trying to think
lightning.
of where is this
It's weak to
Brave?
lightning.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So then, yeah, Pheasantipity. The Brave Bengal helps knock out Fez. I
Mhm.
think that's the main thing.
Yeah, I was trying to think too. If you don't have a lightning energy attached to Galvantula, that's 100, 200, 260. Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be for like the support Pokemon.
Yep. So that's the new one. But other than that, it's a pretty similar deck. I don't know. I'll say I'm surprised that people aren't playing Zekrom. Jake, you and I can rehash our conversation for the listeners. I'm surprised that
I have to
Joltik
remember what
Box.
Zekrom does.
It does more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So late in the game, it's like a late game closer. And my thought process there was, yes, Pikachu does 300, but as we've seen with some of these megas or other Pokemon, 300 is sometimes not enough. Like, how often have you been in a game where your opponent sends up a Gardevoir, you have a Pikachu EX, and you're like, I have no way to knock this Gardevoir out because I'm doing 300 and they have 310. Like, that sucks. But theoretically, if you played a Zekrom, it's an easier attack to get off, in my opinion, because you don't need 3 different kinds of energy. And B, it's a slightly beefier EX that, yes, Pikachu does have Resolute Heart, but the number of times that the Resolute Heart does matter versus doesn't, I don't know if it's more of a wash, in my opinion.
It's probably more impactful than Zekrom.
I don't know, but
Because
that's the thing.
everybody plays Pikachu and not Zekrom.
But if Zekrom can take that last knockout in instances where Pikachu can't, either because you can find the energy more easily or it can do more damage, feels like a better card to play.
I just feel like your end game card is Ursaluna.
Maybe. Yeah.
Your end game is you're playing 4 bosses orders. Your end game is just boss whatever support Pokemon's on the bench and using Blood Moon Ursaluna to take the win.
I like that. You know what? I do like how you broke that down in a very like Occam's razor. Like, look, let's be honest.
I don't know what that means, but yeah,
Occam's
it's
razor
like,
is
you
like the
know,
simplest answer is probably the correct answer.
yeah,
Simplest
it's just
answer.
like why make it harder for yourself when you can just attack for free with Blood Moon or Ursaluna, right? Or like
Yeah,
one
fair.
energy, you could just go in there and slam.
That's true. You are playing Prime Catcher and 4 boss, so yeah.
You're playing
probably.
and 1 counter catcher if you're losing. So you're playing 6 gust effects. So it's like just bring them on up. Bring them out.
So does Zekrom, like we saw that we are getting, is the electric in this set or no? That's in the next
The electric is in this set.
So like
Yeah.
it just feels like the Zekrom electric combo, at least in Japan, not a highly sought after effect.
That I would say is more like a pure Miraidon deck rather than like what Andrew Mahone has been trying to do.
Yeah.
Like more of a pure Miraidon deck rather than a Joltik box deck.
You know what? That's fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I think
sad because it feels
Zekrom
like,
could be viable there, but I still think Blood Moon Ursa Luna is just like better.
yeah,
Like,
especially in this deck. Yeah.
yeah.
Gosh, and then that's basically it. There was a couple of there was a Dragapult Charizard, a Charizard Pidgeot, and some Goldengos as well in the top 16.
The big
So
thing is that Air Balloon is
yeah.
played a lot.
And you know what's not being
Air
played in
Balloon
any
is
of these
played in
decks,
a
Jake?
bunch.
Tool Scrapper.
Oh
Tool
yeah, nobody's
Scrapper.
playing Tool Scrapper for some ungodly reason.
You
You
know
know, all
what?
these decks are playing one of whatever, and nobody's playing Tool Scrapper. The only
Like,
one that's playing multiple air balloons is like Goldango.
yeah, but like you got Tool Scrapper, you got Brave Bangle, you got Bravery Charm, you got all this nonsense, Jake. Play Tool Scrapper.
It's ridiculous.
Anyways, that's all the news that's fit to print this week. Jake, anything else that was on your agenda for the week?
I'm trying to. There was a Blaziken Dragapult deck that was like top 16 in there, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool. Because I think Blaziken EX is cool, even though I don't. I guess it's like the biggest thing is just like chaining Dragapults.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
getting that
and
energy attachment.
you can also theoretically like put dark energy onto your monkey Dory with the Blaziken
Oh yeah, because
if
you're
needed.
not playing Luminous in this deck. You're playing just
Basics.
regular darkness energies. Yeah, you can be aggressive in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I love the
It's
two
cool.
reversal energies
Yeah,
entirely
haven't
for
thought about that
Blaziken.
card in a
Stay
while.
the
Yeah.
the single prize Blaziken.
Hmm.
But you know, this is interesting.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's Dragapult's a great card, so just slam something else with it.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about Zoroark and Alakazam. I'm gonna be honest. I'm still thinking about that deck. I'm cooking.
That's you know what? That'll be a fun deck. You'll sit down across
Yeah.
from somebody, they'll like look at you taking your turn, and you'll be like, I have 17 cards in hand, so I will place 340 damage onto your active Pokemon. And they're like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, like you can. I mean, you're playing Rare Candy in that deck. You're probably playing Hyper Aroma. You know, to Dunsparce, Alakazam. You're just drawing cards, putting them back, drawing cards, putting them back. You got Tulip to get more cards
Yeah.
from the discard pile, so you can chain them. You probably TM Evo on the first turn
Yeah.
to get like your chain going.
Well, I don't know if you want a Team Evo because if you Team Evo, you don't get to draw two for the two Kadabras. Now, maybe you Team Evo into the Dunsparce.
Well, I'm TM Evoing. Oh yeah, you're probably TM Evoing into Dunsparce. Yeah, you're right.
Or Zoroark, which is fair.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but
It's
yeah.
either to Dunsparce or Enzoric. Yeah, never want to TM Evo into Alakazam because
No.
it says from hand, probably doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Unfortunate.
But
It'd be broken actually if it was just like whenever. That'd be so good. That would be so good.
just let me Grand
Do you think
Tree.
Do you think Gardevoirs would play it
No.
to draw cards? Probably not.
It's
Yeah,
a stage
doesn't
2
seem-
line, and you're already like, I don't think you need to draw that badly in Gardevoir.
Well, you could just have the Alakazams. You don't need to have the Kadabras. You don't have to have Alakazam.
I mean, I don't know. Draw 2 just from evolving 1 as
Yeah.
a 1/1 line feels so bad. I'd rather play Zoroark, and that didn't end up being that great.
Yeah. Well, no, it won a regional.
Did Henry? I don't think he won. Did he win the regional with it? Henry
I'm
Chow?
pretty sure Enzor Gardevoir won a regional.
Oh, okay. I know Brent Tonneson won a lot at the same time, but
The Brixie.
yeah, the Brixie won a bunch. That's the one that I'm still playing, basically.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Okay, well,
It
there
won
you go.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't you ever disrespect my Enzoric ever
You
again.
know what? Let me just run 2 Professor's Churro and call it a day.
Yeah.
So I don't get trapped in the active and die.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jake, sign us out.
That's going to be it for the Metapod. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Shenanigans. We'll talk here soon more about the Pokemon trading card game, so stay tuned. I'm Jake, that's Sean. We'll see you later.